Welcome to Building Talk, the podcast for the resident manager, property manager, general manager, and all building service employee professionals. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Bo. That's Frank.
How you doing?
That's all you got to say?
That's it.
Okay, good. Thank you. He will be quiet today.
How's everybody doing out there?
Hey. Anyway, we have a great show for you tonight. I mean, really nice, interesting, and being after Valentine's. Yes. And being we're doing this after Valentine's Day. Will you be my Valentine?
God. What you got for me?
Yeah. I knew it. Raul, cut that.
Stand by.
Anyway, and tonight we have high-rise fire and security.
Wow, he did that.
The original, and listen, the one and the only, Djula, Canovic, welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for being here. Listen, let's tell our audience a little bit about yourself, and we can go right into high-rise.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you introduced me, Djula Canovic. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really honored.
It's our pleasure.
A little bit about myself. I'll let you know I started in the commercial real estate business in property management, actually. So
Nice.
that is actually how I met High-Rise Fire. They were a vendor there. And I've been with them for almost 13 years, and I started as the service coordinator for High-Rise Fire and Security. Yeah, about 2 years in, the sales manager and the service manager at the time fought for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, let me try the sales department, see how that
Why not?
goes. I said, if I don't do well, because I don't know how to sell. You know?
I would fight for Frank.
Yeah.
To get fired, I would fight for him.
I'm confused, but I don't know why.
It worked. That was very easy.
If they want to fire, I would fight for you if they wanted to fire.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd fight for you, Frank.
thank you.
We got a spot.
I believe
for
her
you.
more than I believe
We
you.
got a spot for you at High-Rise Fire.
Oh, do you mind if I move up? You smell so much better. Oh my God.
Do I offend?
No.
It's just New York City air. Walking over here with our base.
So here you are, high-rise fire life. You are the sales manager?
No. Account manager in the sales department.
Okay. And how long has high-rise been in existence?
Probably 35 years or more now.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Okay. You want to tell us a little bit about the company?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'd absolutely love to. So yeah, I started working as a service coordinator. I kind of want to share my story, how I got into High-Rise Fire.
Please.
I love telling the story because I guess that's maybe where I learned or emphasized my strengths in pursuing more.
Mhm.
So I worked in property management, and the manager at the time told me I was unhappy. I want more growth. I want to climb the ladder. And he says, well, there really isn't anywhere else to go, small management company. And we had lunch there, and I just, as the two guys were talking, it was Saul, Michael in the middle. Michael at the time was my manager, my boss, and I was sitting over here, and they're, the chit-chatting away. And I was like, I'm just so fed up. I'm so fed up. I literally just tapped his shoulder, pushed it back, said, you guys hiring?
Wow.
Look,
So
And I said, yes, of course.
well,
I took a chance.
Well, he shouldn't be upset. He wasn't picking up the tab. So what the hell,
Absolutely.
So yeah, well, they picked up the tab and a really great employee,
There you go.
a really great asset.
Nice.
So we took it from there. I started working in service, and then I moved to sales, and since then I've just been, like I wanted it in property management to climb the ladder. I'm doing that within High-Rise Fire. There's
Wow.
always room to
Interesting.
growth.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
expanding like crazy, and they definitely look within before they try to bring
Right.
someone from the outside.
Awesome.
So account manager now. But how did High-Rise Fire start? Two paisans. So these two guys
You heard of those?
I heard you.
You heard of the
They're
Paisans?
from
Well,
New
they,
York,
Were they on Mulberry Street?
Right, yeah. No.
Well, these guys are from Staten Island.
Staten Island.
Well, they came from Brooklyn. Trust
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
I'm a Brooklynite.
Yeah.
I'll rep the Brooklynites.
There you go.
So, they came out of school and started working together, just started up High-Rise Fire out of their truck. And I love this story because they were telling me that they would go to bid wars,
Right.
and to, close the deal, they'll say, you know, well, we have overtime covered. You know, we got it. Meanwhile, one of the owners, Robert, is working out of his truck, going to each job site,
Wow.
programming, testing,
Wow.
FDNY inspections, you know, and they did all of it with 2 people, and then, you know, 2 to 4 to
Sure.
8 to 10. When I started working there in 2008, right, was it 8 or 12? I forget the year. It doesn't matter. That's how long I've been there. It was like 45 people.
Wow.
Fast forward to 2025, we're at 2 locations in Brooklyn at 115 employees.
Holy smokes.
Yes, and they open up an office in Boca Raton, so
Really?
we're also touching base in Florida.
Awesome. They had to go play golf somewhere.
Somewhere.
Right?
You know?
I agree. That's awesome.
So in
So-
Boca Raton.
Yeah, those paisans like saying that.
And like us,
that's
they've been friends
exciting.
for a very long time.
I love your story. Tell me your story.
No, you don't want to hear about it. It's
Yeah,
boring.
everybody knows that story.
He just lived in his truck.
What truck?
Remember that pickup truck you had?
Oh,
The
yeah,
thing- Yeah, okay. Had no shocks, no springs. So. It looked like Fred Sanford's truck. If you guys Google
Yeah,
that,
that-
then
No
you'll-
springs. No springs. Sounds like a bicycle from the
It's a great-
90s.
Yeah. It's a great truck. It's a great truck.
All right.
Everybody knows. I mean, him and I
Yeah.
know each other, what, 43
Yeah.
now?
Think so,
44?
yeah.
Since birth?
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
very
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You know, how's the company growing? I mean, how the heck did it get so big and everything else? What does it focus on?
Well, definitely demand, right?
Mhm.
And they're like one of the first starters of the whole fire alarm skeleton, I'd say. And how are they surviving? Always expanding their expertise and their knowledge and knowing what's happening in the construction industry and the real estate industry within New York City. And also great client services. Like, you know, no one's perfect. Client services is not perfect anywhere you go.
Right.
You know, personalities have a lot to do with it. Working with other vendors has a lot to do with it.
Right.
But I do find that they really do a great way of assessing who they hire, you know, during the job interviews. And one of the things that I find fascinating is when you walk into the offices or you meet us on a job site, you find similarities in all of us in character, in integrity, in morals and ethics, in, you know, work ethic.
Wow.
And I think that's what's really taking us so far, because the managers instill that. They have it. So they are not just managers. I truly believe they are leaders in that way.
Wow. Right. And
Yeah.
that's the kind of companies that we look forward to doing business with. Like you said, ethical, moral. They promote from within. They encourage growth.
Right.
You know, this is, you can say it's a family type of little business, though, even though now it's getting bigger. But that's the reason why they got bigger. You know, so the quality of the work, everything that they're doing, what they're recommending that you put into your buildings, what they're scoping out and engineering, is fantastic.
Yeah, that's another thing actually that they provide. They do provide engineering in-house. So if you wanted, you know, to find someone that can do the A to Z with filing, engineering, expediting, you know, furnishing, installing, it's all one-stop shop and no headache.
Right.
You know, what I loved hearing my boss say this a couple of times is it's really just one throat to choke. You don't have to go through a whole bunch of channels.
Sure.
You know, you just know you got to call that one person, and you know, you screw up, I got you. You know, if you do great, I got you. And I actually love sharing both. If there is an issue that happens out in the field or internally, I do go to my teammates and say, this is the feedback I'm getting. How can we change it? Or where do you need assistance? I'm there for you, right? And so are all the leaders. And then if sometimes you hear more complaints than you do positivity, more, you know, positive feedback and constructive criticism.
That's everywhere.
The moment that I do get it, I, again, blast email to my colleagues, my teammates, and then I'll make sure all the managers or all their superiors are on there, letting them know, hey, we're getting really good feedback. This is what they're doing right. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the team. You know, I always want to give constructive criticism, positive outlook. And it goes back to, again, like, how do we continue growing? How do we continue expanding? We support each other inside. And
that's
it'll
reciprocal.
show.
That is reciprocal. I mean, they get it. Well, even though you're giving them criticism, it's not meant to demean or it's not meant to yell or be harsh. It's like, hey, how can we do a little bit better?
I appreciate that so much.
You know,
that approach is
and
so.
it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
Right. Right. Because how you find an employee and how do you keep the employee, it goes hand in hand.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Because if you can go look and find an employee who's, he's not the right fit, but you're going to go, oh, all right, we'll put him in there. But that one can be that cog, right?
Yeah. But you know what? That one person could be also somebody who gives you a very bad reputation.
Exactly.
It's very difficult, I think, in today's environment to find somebody
Agreed.
With the right personality, with the right skill set, with the right attitude.
Yeah.
Hey, you're hiring me. I'm going to be there half an hour early. I'm going to stay as long as it takes to finish this job for you.
Yeah.
I know I'm hourly. I know I'm getting this much. Okay, but I want to work so that the job is finished completely, quickly, and the customer is satisfied.
Right.
What problem are you going to have doing that?
No, none.
No. And that's something that's very hard to find. You have 115. Not all of them are techs. You got the office, you got the support, you got the sales. Obviously, and I really love that because I was bidding out a job here and there. Well, we don't do this,
right?
Or X, you have to do this. I'm like, so wait a minute, I'm going to hire you, but then I got to go and hire these other people.
Yeah.
Or no, we sub it out to somebody and said, we'll take care of it, which means I know my bid is going up.
Of course, because they got to add that percentage.
And how important is that to the resident manager? You're out there bidding this project, and basically they're coming to you and says, hey, we're going to do the engineering. We're going to do the installation. We'll get all the testing. We'll get all the filing done. Hello.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what you should be looking for.
Yeah, I also think it's extremely important, something you brought up about, resident managers bidding out scopes of work. You don't know what you don't know, and we also don't know what we don't know about what you don't know.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So along the line in my career, I've learned that I should not assume that you know what I'm talking about,
right?
Or what my proposal says. It's written in English, right? And it's pointed out. The scope is there, but that
technical English.
Right, technical. Perfect. That's what I'm getting at. Technical English. So you might not know what's a relay, what's a module, what do I need the CPU for, what do I need all these devices for, what does it do for me, why is it necessary? So I did learn through trial and tribulation that I am to work through every single thing that's within my scope. And things that's going to affect my scope, that's going to be your responsibility because it doesn't fall under life safety or fire alarm scope, and it's out of our quote unquote expertise or jurisdiction.
Right.
So, one of the local laws that we work on, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun or anything.
No, go ahead. Take over. I'll be So, go ahead. Tell the people.
Everyone. The local law 191 that came out during COVID, actually, around 2019.
Right.
If there's any fuel burning equipment that you need to have a fuel shutdown for example, we don't do that portion. You have to get whomever is the vendor that installed that equipment, and our relay will tie into it and or monitor it. So I learned very early on that I needed to relay that information because that is a hidden budget that you require for the building to do. It's not part of my scope, but it is definitely my duty to let you know it's going to affect my scope because we have to work together and you need to budget for it.
Right. You're not the boiler company. You're not the whatever. This pertains a lot to gas. And boy, does he have a lot of gas. Hey, he needs that detector right away. It would just.
She's been here 40 minutes now. Not one gas problem.
Yeah. Really? Not one. You're handling it?
Yeah, I'm good.
These are going to explode.
Frank, what happened during that? I'm not Frank. I'm sorry, Edwin. What happened during that one trip with your wife and family where you stepped out and you didn't realize there was? Speaking of gas.
Exactly. He was the one who powered that motorboat.
Someone let something rip.
He was the one.
Where the hell did you remember that?
I remember things about important people.
Back to the safety.
Right. Here's my question regarding local law 91. Is it only for gas or is it oil also? I mean, look, we're fading away oil and stuff like that, but does that also
anything that's fossil fuel burning equipment? Right. You have to have CO detection, the floor of, above, and below.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, they
So-
always stick that in with fire codes. Fire floor, floor above.
They stick that in with bed bugs. I mean,
Yeah.
for the love of God, come on.
Well, you have. I don't actually. That went over my head.
Because bed bugs, if you have a bed bug infestation, you're supposed to do a clover leaf. So it's the
Oh.
apartment, top, bottom.
Do you want to
and
switch
left and right.
seats? I don't mind being in the
Yeah,
middle.
No, it's okay.
You don't know that? You're a
Bed
resident
bugs.
manager for 6,000 years. You
Bed
don't know
bugs?
bed bugs.
You're discussing, but when were you in the close to a bed bug?
What? You know I've won
You just
awards
called
for
you a
bed
dinosaur.
bugs.
That
Of course, we are dinosaurs.
I just called you a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I'm
Somebody-
going to instigate
I was
over
going
here.
to say. I was going to say something, but I won't say it.
I'm the Stegosaurus.
You're-
I'm
All right,
learning
so anything
dinosaurs too.
combustible, then that
Yeah.
would be it. And
Right.
Local law 190,
right,
Yeah.
191.
191.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, look, some people would have that same exact question. I'm just asking.
You're
you.
absolutely right. It is an important
Yeah, yeah.
topic. It may not be somebody that you pick up, but
Right.
then again, here's another local law.
Exactly.
You know, thank you, New York City. I think this one came out in 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is, listen, it's for your safety as well. So, hey,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything about local laws.
Right.
I agree. And thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for giving that information. Employees, we were talking about them before, and you seem to have a lot. How do you retain them? How do you keep them, wanting to be with High Rise?
You know that saying, if you have too much, if there's too much resistance in the rubber band, that it just escapes you. If you leave a little bit of slack,
Mhm.
the relationship is healthier. They stay. It goes within, I think, every relationship. So everyone knows that the door is always there. Whether you want to walk in or walk out, it's there for you. But what keeps employees within the company and wanting to succeed more is we have that growth that gives you the opportunity to make changes, and you're not stuck in your department. You're not stuck.
Yeah,
If you're a technician, there's no way in God's name we're holding you back from being the best project manager
Okay.
or
There you go.
engineer or programmer.
Right.
And one thing High Rise Fire does for their employees continues to educate us and provide us with many different styles and levels of trainings.
Okay.
So when we see that someone has an interest in the company, in themselves,
Mhm.
we just pour into them and let
Okay.
them know that, I scratch your back, you scratch mine,
right.
and why
Mhm.
wouldn't you?
Right.
Why wouldn't you invest in your own employees? How
Sure.
else do you keep
No, absolutely.
keep eating? How
Yeah.
else do you keep growing?
Mm-hmm.
So definitely the training, and I would say leadership as opposed to just boss or manager.
Okay.
They're leaders.
Okay.
And one thing that I absolutely love is I could see that they truly want you to succeed. They truly see your potential. I
Right.
had no idea
Nice.
that I could be in this in a sales department or a sales role. I never thought that I can. And the only thing that I think that maybe they really saw in me was that I am a go-getter. I am very self-motivated, even though I have the backing and
Yes.
support of all my colleagues in every department.
Right.
I'm pretty social, So,
Really?
although I was extremely nervous for this podcast, ask Edin.
Why?
But just truly investing in their employees and letting us know that we're not robots, We're not AI, we're not robots.
Right. Right.
We're
It's
all
the
human
human
beings.
factor.
We all have
Right.
families.
Which is missing in a lot of stuff these days.
Oh my God.
Right?
Tell me
True.
about it.
I might get replaced,
Yeah.
It'll never be a Djula, right?
Okay. Nope.
But it might be a cheaper Djula.
No. No. One thing we know. One thing we know. Hey, you listening? Paisans ain't cheap. All right. Just saying.
I like that.
There you go. We ain't cheap. I love the fact that you can grow in anything that you want to achieve. And I love the fact that High Rise is recognizing that and that they're pushing their employees. We have it a little bit different, but we also have this union. Thank you very much. That offers 250 courses for you.
Wow.
So I've been pushing this like crazy, and it's for your benefit. Yes, the sacrifice is going to be now, but you have to think long term.
Right.
Absolutely.
Do you want to be that technician for 30 years? And some people, believe it or not, want to stay.
Right.
And some people want to be, this is it. This is what I want to do. That's okay. I said, that's fine. Punch in, punch out. Do your job. We're the best of friends.
Mhm.
But if you want to go further, High Rise is there for you.
Yeah, we've had people leave
Mhm.
and come back,
Nice.
and they were rehired.
Yeah.
Everyone, what I love again about the management team is that they recognize that there are other opportunities. You don't burn your bridges.
Right.
If you
Exactly.
did well for us and you try to test the waters out somewhere
Yeah,
else,
I
realize that the water isn't as comfortable or the
Mhm.
grass isn't as green, regardless of salary or
Yeah.
money or hourly wages or health benefits and plans, which High Rise Fire provides the best. I'm very content. Family plan, beautiful. They'd come back and I say, "Was what happened? What, the grass wasn't greener?
Mhm.
Oh, the management style, the
Yeah.
micromanaging, the this or that. Oh, so
Hmm.
you came back for a lesser pay." Not to say that they don't pay well.
They ain't cheap.
That's the last
Right.
thing you think when you hear High Rise Fire.
Yeah. Which is interesting.
But management style, your environment. I'm there. Sometimes 12 hours a day.
Right.
12 hours back then before I was a mom.
Mhm.
12 hours a
Hey.
day.
By the way, she mentioned, I was going to mention it, but this is her second try at doing this podcast. The last time we invited her on, she brought her beautiful daughter, Amina, and I got to tell you, man, we had a blast.
Oh, thank you.
But when we went back to edit it, all we kept hearing throughout the whole show was Amina
And Peppa Pig.
and Peppa.
Yeah.
we couldn't cut it, so we invited you back.
Thank
And
you.
we
Thank
wanted
for
you
the
back.
retake.
But I got to tell you, we got a shout out to Amina.
Aw.
Hello. Yeah. So listen, here you are again, single mom, doing what you have to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, So
And my company supports it.
yeah.
Which is a
So
great thing. So how do you
Yeah.
go about, and like you said, how do you approach customer service? What are the intricacies?
Well, I'll tell you right now, I definitely don't approach customer service. I don't know what customers are. I know who my clients are.
Okay.
You know, I know who my clients are. We're not going to a grocery store.
Right.
If you have a relationship with us, you are considered our client.
Mm-hmm.
How do I approach them without the dotted line and price first?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let's
Uh-huh.
talk about what your needs are.
Okay.
How can I service those needs? Can I service those needs?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, we're not robots. We are all human beings, So I try to make sure that we can provide what you're looking for. And off the bat, give me your worst experiences with previous vendors,
Okay.
service vendors, not just fire alarm. Let's say you're replacing somebody and you're looking to go with High Rise
Right.
Fire. I mean, across the board, worst experience. Why? I need to know why you were dissatisfied, why that made you dissatisfied,
Mhm.
and is it something that High Rise Fire can make sure that we can provide that or not let it
Right.
happen,
I like that approach. So obviously, since you are perfect and nobody ever calls you to complain,
No.
no, Djula,
No.
come on. How many times? How do you deal with that when you have some angry clientele? And again, you're in the sales.
Yeah.
It could be something out to happen, or it could be something like that, or it could be some idiot RM.
No.
Yeah, we have those, Frank.
Well,
I haven't met any idiot RMs. I love them all.
Thank you.
Look, you got to understand, RMs are a lot under pressure a lot,
Yes.
and sometimes you have to take that approach of
Oh,
what's happening over there.
yeah, man.
Absolutely. I can be your therapist.
Mhm.
I can understand at that moment when you're giving me a call that you're extremely upset over something, and perhaps our job or our scope was the last,
Mhm.
straw on the camel's back. I definitely welcome all types of calls, whether it's dissatisfaction or satisfaction, like I mentioned earlier. I'm open to it. I do not take anything personally unless
Right.
you say something personal about
Sure,
me,
sure.
like
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
your approach,
that's-
or this is how you handle
that's
things, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I hear them out, and I certainly, if I'm not confident in how to respond, let them know I will absolutely get back to them. Because especially if you're complaining about a service, I'm not the technician. I'm not in the field.
Right.
I don't know what was happening at the panel or out, within the building. So I need to do my research.
Mhm.
I'd like to definitely hear both sides of the story, and I never play a blame game. I play I'll take
referee.
I'll take
No.
the accountability.
Okay.
I'll be held accountable,
Okay.
and let's look for a solution.
It's all her fault.
And I'll take it. If my technician blows up a panel, I did it.
Right.
I'll take responsibility for it.
Okay.
Panels have been blown up.
Really interesting.
Glass walls have been shattered.
Listen,
Thank God
anything
for
at any
insurance.
time. Yes,
Mhm.
and the other thing is, how do you respond to that is what counts.
Correct.
What makes or break your relationship with anyone. You can break something and say, I don't know how that happened. Sorry, you know what? Next, keep going. And that person is never going to call you back again. At least I won't.
Right.
And I hate the ones that tell you, I don't know how that happened. Well, geez, should we go to the camera? But, just own up to it, move on.
Yeah, I wouldn't just move on though. We own up to it. We have to learn the mistake, where the miscommunication happened, whether it was with our team internally or with the client. That I just don't say, okay, you know what, I did it, my fault.
Right.
Let's fix it, find a solution. There is definitely let's fix it, find a solution, because we got to stay on time.
Mhm.
This is life safety we're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And resident managers have to answer to board members, regional property managers. So we just want to move forward.
Right.
But let's say, an issue occurred where the resident manager or property manager, or like I do a lot of new construction. I deal a lot with architects and developers and GCs. They don't know what's not our scope or what we should. We are not, we're not specializing in, and so they'll see another vendor being involved, and then we take the brunt of it. So I never like to do the blame game, but I will always encourage kickoff meetings. I'll always encourage teams meetings. If we want all the vendors on one screen, let's do it.
Right.
All information from all angles are so important in order to just close the job, just move on. Everything moves, with grease. Just move smoothly. So that's how I like to handle situations.
That's amazing, but we're really blaming the resident manager. But what is the role of the resident manager for you and for your company? For your business, for services, for everything.
Absolutely, most important role in our business is you guys. Is the resident managers.
All those guys?
You.
All those guys.
All of you guys.
Yeah, put down the fork.
Absolutely important for us to get along well, to make you guys happy, to make you guys look good, to make sure your system is working and functioning properly. This is again life safety. You want to make sure your occupants and your assets are safe. So working closely with you, making sure we build on that relationship and understanding your personality, which is very difficult. We all have different personalities.
Sure.
So, somebody might take something personal, like you passing gas or you and I earlier.
Right.
But another person might just say that's natural.
She went like this, you passing gas. Her thumb went like this, you passing gas. That's how she did.
It's natural. So we have to understand each other.
Exactly. Tell him.
Wait, you're going to talk through gas? So it is an important issue, and really, when you say opening new buildings, when you say what exactly you do, you can't stress how important her role and a high rise can be to your building. They're putting in the tamper switches, they're putting in manual polo stations, they're putting in fire command stations. These are all meant to protect life first, and then property. These are also meant to protect the firefighters as well.
Of course.
Yes.
When they're coming to us, so they have an idea of what is going on and what is the best resources where they can put them to put out the fire or something else. The most tragic thing you can go through is a fire. And we've seen it, unfortunately, in California, where people have fled and
Oh
right
my
behind
God, it
them,
was horrendous.
all their homes are burnt around. We've seen loss of life in buildings due to smoke. We've seen a lot of it. These are the people, high-rise fire, who's going to be there and maintain your system so you don't have such a disaster.
And I want to see if you agree with me. I when I've gone into a building and I've run my buildings, I always invited the fire department to come in and walk the building, look at my system, so that when if God forbid something does happen, you get a lot of false alarms too. They come in and they know exactly where they are, where they stand, what elevator, what staircase, all that. And I don't know how many RMs believe in that, but I wholeheartedly believe in that, because of whatever fireman comes into that building, I definitely don't want him getting stuck somewhere where you don't know, God forbid, something tragic does happen.
Absolutely.
So, what is your approach on that?
I mean, if everything's up to code and you have all your
Yeah.
inspections, go ahead and welcome the FDNY inspector right into your building. But if you think you might get written up, it's probably
Well,
a
no.
bad idea.
No, it's the fire department
Those
themselves.
violations
Yeah.
are really
Yeah,
steep.
no,
I know what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
the fire department
The
themselves.
fire
Yeah.
trucks should pull up.
Right.
The guys will come out. Lieutenant's there with his clipboard flipping over, and he goes, "Okay, this is this building.
Mhm.
This is where the staircase is. This is
Yes,
where it is.
yes.
This where." And he has a lot of new firefighters,
Yep.
the probationary
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And I never walked my building, and I love it.
Oh, 100 times.
I said, "Here, I'll
Oh,
show you."
wow.
And I listened to him, and it's like, "All right, so when you go in this staircase, this is a scissor staircase. This will let you off on a different location
Oh,
of
that's
the floor."
amazing.
Yeah, they will come in and they'll show them, okay, because right now everything's computerized with
Correct.
DOB and the fire department,
Correct.
but they will show them like, okay, and of course they pointed out, by the way, that door is not marked properly. I said, you know what? You're right.
Okay.
It isn't. It isn't because the exit, it wasn't marked as an exit stair. So that type of little detail, they'll go up to
Yeah.
your roof.
Yeah.
When the fire
They help
department
you too.
comes in,
Sure.
listen, they're not looking to bust your chops about
No,
this
no.
and this. They'll point out major stuff, which is going to affect them.
Of course.
So yes, invite the fire department in because they do these yearly things when they're not
Yep.
busy at the fire department. You'll see their truck, you'll see them coming in, and
Mhm.
it's like, okay, I'm in trouble now,
Yeah.
but no, show them your building,
Right.
show them where everything
Right.
is,
And
and believe me, when you have an emergency, they'll know where to
Exactly.
go.
And just like Bo said, that a lot of houses bring in, the newbies, I guess, what you want to call them. I welcome that because those guys are getting trained. So whenever there's a new,
Yeah.
I always say to the captain, hey, if you got new guys, by all means, use this building as your training center. I don't have a problem with it.
Oh, that's so admirable. And
You know?
I'm understanding now what exactly you mean by inviting them in. I think you're taking such a positive initiative to create a relationship with
Oh,
your
yeah,
nearby
Local
house,
firehouse, yes.
right? So I think that is a great recommendation for all the resident managers. Anyone that's
Yeah.
listening, they should definitely take that into consideration.
Mhm.
That's it's quite admirable, and it's letting them know that you are thinking about their safety
Oh,
as
sure.
well as your
Yes.
occupants. You're thinking
Absolutely,
about them
absolutely.
as well as the occupants,
Yeah.
and that's admirable.
And please make sure you're up to code.
Exactly. Be up to code.
That's
Yeah,
where I was
invite the
going.
fire department.
You're getting written up.
Don't bring in the fire inspector.
Right. Not the inspector, the fire department.
The house, the
Bring
firehouse, your local
Not
firehouse.
Tech.
Right. Yeah. No, not Metro Tech.
Oh my God. What is any latest technology?
Yeah.
I
Good
think
question.
one of the things was the new antenna, the radio antennas just for the fire department in new buildings,
Mhm.
which was a code which I thought was a great idea. And stupid me, I was asking them, hey, can I have my radios on that antenna?
You're not the first, you're not the only.
Thank you.
Don't worry.
I'm
You're
like,
not
yeah, that
alone.
looks like a pretty big antenna, man. Can we put our radios on there? And the captain's like, yeah, no. So, I
Yeah,
tried.
channel 1112 is just for the FDNY,
Right.
just for the auxiliary radio system. It is
Yeah.
another system. I think they started to implement in after the 9/11 issue that we had,
Mhm.
Oh,
because
yes.
a lot of the
Sure.
firefighters and all authority figures, their
they
communication was
Mhm.
clashing
Yeah.
with all their radios, and or it was lost.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so now this system is strictly for the fire department, separate from the fire alarm system
Right.
that they use
Right.
to communicate with one another. Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, new buildings. The guys opening new buildings, you'll see them.
Yes.
And
Yes. And
yeah.
another thing too, opening buildings, because I've opened a few, and I've noticed now the last building I opened, which was really very smart. By your elevator, so they'll pick an elevator, maybe a service
Mhm.
elevator or just a passing aid elevator, whatever it is. One elevator has right in front of, on every single floor, a drain.
oh, okay.
So that if the
Yeah.
sprinklers go off, if they're using water, the water's going down the drain before it hits that elevator that they will be using to travel up and down, which I thought was
I
brilliant.
don't know about. I don't think it's that one specific. I think it's for the whole floor.
Every floor will have
Yeah.
one drain in front of one
Right,
elevator.
and everything should be
Where the
sloped
fire
to that
department
drain.
will-
in case- Okay.
And where that fire department, those guys will
I
be
thought it
using
was
that
wherever the elevators where there was a drain in front of it, so make sure that
No,
they
it'll
don't
be
go
one, yeah, right.
into
I mean,
the
unless
elevator.
they have more. Yeah. Unless they have
Listen,
more, but-
if the water goes in the elevator shaft,
That's
if it
it.
falls on top of the car, that's
Yep,
it.
that's it.
It's going to go out of service.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is a great idea. And think about all the money you save because there's less damage.
Exactly.
Water and electricity and moving parts do not mix.
They don't mix.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Right.
piggyback on the elevator, there's also a new system that's now required for new construction,
Mhm.
high-rise buildings called the Fire Service Access Elevator Panel. So all new construction, if you have elevator within your building, it's not fire alarm system, but it's tied into fire alarm system,
Mhm.
and it's its own panel that the FDNY will use just for just for elevator service access.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's separate from the fireman's
Yeah.
service key?
Probably the same, right?
If it's a 2642, I think they share the same key.
Oh, they'll share this. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
they'll be able to recall
Yeah.
every or specific elevators based on that, and there's a
Based
heat
on their
detector on every landing that's
Okay.
tied into that system that will then recall the elevators if there is an alarm.
Yeah,
So new systems are continuing to come out. So you asked
Right.
what new technologies are.
Huh.
These systems are all tied in together.
Right.
The FSAE is within the fire alarm design.
Mhm.
ARCS is not within fire alarm design, but usually done by a fire alarm specialist vendor like High Rise Fire. We do provide that service as well, most systems as well. And those two have to all be filed within the FDNY, not the DOB.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool.
Listen, FDNY
I like it.
is its own source, and I think they learn, unfortunately, from previous disasters or previous fires,
Yeah.
what's beneficial to save them. They listen. They're not called the bravest for nothing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You go into a fire,
Yep.
and you'll see what happens.
Yep.
Okay. It's
They're the Navy SEALs of the soil, right?
yeah. Listen, I really support them. I think they're fine and great gentlemen and ladies. And
100%.
100%. I can't think of anybody else but FDNY who I want coming in here and get my fat butt out. Okay?
Frank looked a little bit suspicious a second.
I know,
He thought
I-
that was a layup for
Yeah.
something about to
Yeah, I was
happen.
ready. I was ready.
Listen,
I was ready, but I said, let me.
and thankfully, when something happens to Frank,
Here we go.
these guys have the best equipment and the best gas masks,
See?
so they won't be able to smell them. Hey, it's Djula.
Safety first.
You think a pig pen from
Where
Jolly
do you
Brown?
see- where do you see the company and yourself in I'll give you 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned earlier, the company's rapidly growing and expanding.
Yeah.
She sees
we're-
herself in Hawaii.
Yeah. Oof.
No, I thought she was going to say Boca Raton.
Yeah. I mean, I'll visit. I love
Good.
my colleagues out there too.
Yeah.
But I definitely see myself expanding with them, growing with them.
Right.
And helping them with that growth to continue. Again, I'm very
Sure.
fortunate for my career within High Rise Fire, and I love what I do. So I'm just gonna keep growing with them. We're gonna move on up.
Listen,
Nice.
you see yourself, look at the skyline of New York City and how many
Yes.
cranes you
Oh,
see,
yeah.
and how many high-rise buildings. And
Mhm.
listen,
I want to be
any-
part
any-
of it. I want to be part of all
Yeah.
of it.
You know, exactly. That's what I was looking at. I was like, oh, wow, I want to be in that building. I want to be in this building, whatever, managing. I thought it'd be great.
When I passed by a new development that I was a part of, because I told you I do the new construction. I love it's my baby, retrofits as well. But every time I pass by one of my buildings, with my daughter, or a family, or a friend, or myself, I was, that's my building.
Wow.
I played a role in there. I didn't lay any
There you
bricks. I
Right.
didn't run any conduit or wires,
Ah.
but I played a role.
Sure.
And your system is going to save them,
Absolutely.
hopefully, lives
Mhm.
and a lot of money.
Absolutely.
It's not a joke. Frank?
Yes, dear. It's time for that wonderful question.
I thought it was.
What question is
Yeah,
that?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is the question. This question is also a show and tell.
Here we go.
It's Frank,
Show and tell.
show and tell.
Oh.
Give me your wallet.
Oh, for love of God.
Give me your wallet.
He always does this.
Give me your wallet.
Here we go.
Sound familiar? Oh, shit. Oh, excuse me.
What? Yeah. Yeah.
Is it coming here?
No. We won't
Benjamin's
subject
in
you.
there. I'll take
We
it.
won't subject you.
It doesn't close.
Well,
Why does it? A lot of business cards.
No, I always just go.
You all want to know. He has his communion money
Oh,
from
for
1980 in here.
Here we go.
The
1980.
question, and
Maybe
you'll
so
see
you-
why it's show and tell. if Frank or Bo
Mhm.
were stuck in a fire, who would save himself and who would save his wallets?
Yeah.
Huh? Who would save it? Look at this thing.
That wallet will save both of us. Will you throw through
What
a
are you gonna
glass?
smother it with a fire?
Throw through a glass pane. It'll work.
Really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's leather. It's leather 2 hour
There you
rated.
go. 2 hour rated.
It's leather
Throw
2 hour
it
rated.
out the window we go, baby. I'll be first chasing the wallet, but
It's in his hand, so chase him. We're all gonna win. We're all safe.
Nope, no money. Son of a bitch. I think I lost this one.
I don't
His
have an
wallet
answer. I don't know.
saved. His wallet saved the day. He just answered it himself.
that's right.
Oh, you win.
Idiot.
Finally.
No.
Won something, because Evan doesn't let you win.
No, but he's lost a lot of these. Don't worry about it. My record is.
Why are you still so disappointed? You should have been used to it by now.
He should be. It's true. He should be. You're right.
help
You're
him.
right. Tell
I'm
him.
trying to.
She's not helping.
Positive
I
outlook.
give
I'm
Just,
scared.
you know, you're gonna
Thank you
fail.
for the
I'm
show.
scared of him.
And you know what? We do want to
You guys are
mention.
so
Yes,
silly.
Seriously, we are. Well, we have to be.
I love it.
We're all stressed
Oh,
out.
bobbleheads. Oh, they don't bobble.
No, they don't bother.
We don't bobble anymore because Amina was playing with them last time. Remember?
No,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
no. On the
We
record.
will tell you before we get to our famous WTF moment. Djula actually was from the compliments of the Illyrian Building Managers Association.
Oh, nice.
So we have
Wow,
him
thank you.
again. We have him to thank
Cole.
who?
Cole.
Who?
Oh, Palushai.
No.
See, he didn't remember your name. I did.
All you
Look at
guys,
that.
all you guys are awesome. I'm
there
so
you go.
grateful and thankful for the team, their support, their interest. Thanking
Yeah.
you guys as well. I just think
Absolutely.
what you guys are doing and how you're supporting one another and your vendors.
Yeah.
Much again, like I said, the resident managers are really the key players. You
Right.
guys are the most important, and I'm so grateful to the relationships that I have and the trust that I have to be able to work with you.
Right. Excellent. Thank you.
So thank you,
Seriously,
thank you
thank you.
again, Cole,
She was looking at
everybody,
you
Yeah.
because your big head was in the way. So you had
sorry.
all the
Mr.
freezing.
Lushai,
Sorry.
everybody.
Enough with him. He's fine.
You remind me of my older uncle. I really like
The crazy drunken one.
him. Yeah. Well, I don't have any of those.
Sorry, Cole.
That was Vinny.
Up next is our famous and really,
Yes.
people. This is argumentative, but people will say
Mhm.
that this is the question they're always looking for
Absolutely.
because we
They
put
stop
you
us
on
in the
the
streets.
spot.
Yeah, they stop us in the streets.
Yeah. They're like, "What the? Oh,
Exactly. When they see us.
Yeah.
You got it. You
that
did
was
it.
Frank.
Yeah.
I
What the
smell him from here."
Here we go.
So it's the gas thing. It's not your body.
There's no good. Have you heard one peep out of me?
It's really who smelt it, who dealt it.
Exactly.
Smelt
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Are we in high school for God's sakes? The WTF moment is the what the Frank
Mm-hmm.
moment. It's like one of those moments where it could be any issue, any situation. It can happen at work. It can happen at home. It could happen anywhere.
Absolutely.
He's tried it on the subway. That's how he finds a seat.
What did I do?
So,
Wow. I didn't get that.
now we got that. So
You're a good sport, Frank.
that makes you want to go
Mhm.
and say, "What the Frank? Did that really happen?"
Oh, my
It's a tag.
WTF.
It's okay.
My
Personal moment.
WTF
Uh-huh.
for now, for current times,
Oh, boy.
is how in God's name did eggs get so expensive?
Wow.
Why are we spending $1 per egg? I don't understand.
The chickens are on strike, man.
Yeah.
And I blame the chicken union.
They're dressed in a whole lot nicer than me, I'll tell you.
Well, you know,
If
a
we
lot
can
of
bring those,
Valentine's just passed, and a lot of ladies got eggs for gifts because they got something expensive.
So you got a
They
dozen
gift.
eggs instead of a dozen roses?
No. I took my wife.
I
out to
bet
dinner,
the
baby.
women that got eggs for a gift were egging your house.
Ah.
Any woman that got eggs for a gift, because that's just telling us what we belong in the kitchen.
No,
Am I in the kitchen right now?
Never. No, we were just saying it's so
I'm domestic.
expensive.
I can't
So
cook.
We were just
but-
saying it was just
Yeah,
so
okay, good
expensive.
save. I got you.
Expensive.
Exactly, yes.
Well, thank you. You have time for a fuff? I think we should do a fuff.
We do have a fuff.
We should do
What
a
do we
fuff.
have for a fuff?
I mean, our fuff, and we always, you know what
You know
our
what?
fuff is.
Let's do a fuff moment.
Yes.
Let's fuff.
Let's fuff.
F-U-F.
PH.
Baby.
No.
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 It's F-U-F.
What? F.
FF.
Yeah.
FU.
F.
Okay. FUF stands for Fix Yourself First.
Yeah.
Our mental health moment is brought to you by Frank's Head.
Yes.
And gas.
And gas. Thank you. I was going to say it, but I was trying to think of a way to say it. Thank you.
Because all functions are controlled by mentally, right?
It's true. You're 100% right.
She gonna be out of here soon?
She's gone. She's
Just
gone.
take over the show,
Yeah,
man. You know what I mean?
This isn't ginger ale.
My son.
I'm kidding.
You know, and you know what, with the fuck moment, and this is, you know, for us, it's very serious. And
Yeah.
we know the stress, and a lot of our wonderful guests always come to us and go, we can't believe the stress that you guys are under all
Yeah.
the time. And it's so true.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm a very big proponent of meditation, and Bo knows that I love meditation, and I sit and I meditate a whole bit. But I want to know what, and this is just more you and I.
Yeah.
What have you, what is it you do so that when you feel that stress coming on, what is it that you do that you can partake and say to our audience, hey, I think this works for me, may work for half of you, may work for one of you, may work for a million of you.
You know what? That's excellent question you asked me. And what I do a lot of times, and you can tell my attitude if you come into my office or, what music I'm playing. If it's something saddy, whatever, I'm having one of those moments, if it's something lively, but I'm flying, man. Let's go. You put on Rush or you put on some classic disco. Hey,
there you go.
I am moving. I'm going. Let's go. I'm either on a computer or walking around like crazy. I'm really, really good. And it helps you bring you up, too.
Yep.
Music, to me, is, I think, some of the best therapy in the world.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And it could be anything. Anything. I listen to anything. I'm sorry, I can't do opera.
Yeah, I tried opera. I mean, I listen to everything, but I can't do it. I can't. You're right.
Yeah.
I tried. I can't. But I'll listen to it. Yeah, I'll listen to it.
Yeah, it is very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. And listen, it can bring you down a little bit too.
Of course.
How many times I listened to Chris Stapleton in Tennessee Whiskey?
Really?
Yeah. Sweet as wine. Oh, what the hell? I can't sing, but that's what his job is.
Right.
And
Karaoke right now.
Thank God it doesn't work.
That is uplifting.
I always thank God that he didn't give me a Frank Sinatra voice. He didn't give me looks, whatever.
I thought he gave you that Fabio look.
Yeah, no.
You had that beautiful.
I had the full mane of hair, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, because I would be singing at every freaking flop house, country house, move house, I don't care where, outhouse. I would be there. I would be the world's biggest crooner. I'd be like all over the place. I love and appreciate music, all kinds of music.
We got it. Take us home, baby. Take us home.
Point having music is uplifting, right?
Yes.
And I think
Very
everybody feels
uplifting.
that.
And it can calm you down as well.
Yes.
And of course, you put the wrong kind of music on. You want to go out and, get into a GTO with your gat.
Right. Well, that's all right.
I'm so bad at rap. Forget it.
Yeah.
I don't listen to rap. I don't. I'm sorry.
I love rap. Biggest
Really?
Smalls on. I love it.
Now you're going back about 20
Yeah,
years.
that's okay.
So let's go.
Okay.
The current rap.
You said GTO and I thought GTI.
Wow.
We were talking V-dubs and okay, I get that.
Wow. But did you? Oh, never mind. Oh, it was the Grand National that they had on the halftime show.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, you guys might think he's great or whatever. You know what? I'll give him all the credit, but I did not understand.
Me neither. There was a purpose of that, but whatever. Hey, that's right.
Yo,
There it is.
tell them where they can find us.
So,
Whoa.
What?
No, you don't. I'm sorry. Hold on a second, Raul. Let's cut that. Frank, Djula, where can we find you?
Yes.
Okay, Brooklyn, New York, 144, 21st.
All right.
Hire's office, main office building. No kidding.
Yeah.
I definitely would love to share my LinkedIn. You can look me up on LinkedIn, Djula Canovic. And there you'll get my email address, my mobile number for the office, and word of mouth. Feel free to share my contact information with your colleagues and other resident managers and whomever needs a life safety system, even low voltage. I didn't mention earlier, but we do intercom systems, AV systems, security systems.
Thank you.
Yeah, and central station monitoring. All within under one umbrella.
Wow. Seriously, it is the one stop shop that you would be looking for. I mean, take us out of here.
Yeah, you can follow us on buildingtalknyc.com. That's our website. Check out the shows that are coming up on there. And of course, you can always see us on YouTube Tuesday night, 7 p.m. and Spotify, 7 p.m. and iHeartRadio, Apple. What's the other one? What's the other Apple? What's the other one? What's the other one? What's the other one? That one over there.
Spotify.
We're everywhere.
said
Wherever
that.
podcasts, wherever podcasts.
That's
are
what
sold.
you say. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to
That's
say
it.
when you have no idea where the hell to get their podcast.
Exactly. Wherever podcasts
Okay.
are sold, you can find us, listen to us, hit like, subscribe, tell your friends. We got more shows coming up. It's going to be great. We have a lot more sponsors coming up. We hooking up a few sponsers.
Yes. Yes, we're gonna be working with them for the show.
they're very interested in what we are bringing to the table to our community.
We're getting the name out and the word out again.
Yes.
And so I think we're starting all over again.
Mhm.
Hopefully we're getting a better
Bigger.
audience.
Yep.
Listen, we love you. Let's put it that way.
I
I
know.
don't care if
I
it was
know.
Valentine's Day. We love you.
I know.
You're our people.
Yes.
You know, this is who we do it for. We don't do this for Frank and Bo.
No.
We're doing for the next generation, this generation, all of the RMs,
Mhm.
PMs, GMs, any M's,
Any
mama,
Yeah.
any mamas
Any
out
M.
there, any M. We will continue to do this as long as Frank has hair.
Wow.
On his arms.
On my back.
Just remember, building talk is always good listening.
Thanks,
Later.
guys. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Julie.